Truly local, local people, local news and local events. On this week's show, we meet the dolphins in Croness Park. Keith tries to land on a Russian aircraft carrier. Gail gets into trouble on holiday. Hang on a minute, wrong script. Coming up on this week's show, I wear a stripy shirt. There's some dancing. The Walker Welfare Centre in Thornhill gets threatened. We interview a man and can't hear a thing at the Etman White Crown of Light. And I do a John Travolta at Thornhill United presentation night. That's an exciting programme in anybody's book, from Dewsbury TV.
Hello and welcome to the news from Dewsbury TV. I'm Anna Seed.
And I'm Gail Hall.
Around 200 litres of diesel leaked from a lorry that crashed into a post near the River Calder in Dewsbury on Friday the 19th of July. Firefighters were called to the scene of the leak on Sands Lane at about midday. The lorry's petrol tank had been punctured when it hit the post. Luckily, the angle of the road meant the fuel pooled up on the curb and did not flow into the river. Watch Commander Jed Pilling said, "The crew used absorption cushions to stop the fuel from leaking into the drainage system. Firefighters were cleaning up the scene for around 2 hours before they handed over to the Environmental Agency and the police." Watch Commander Pilling added, "There was a river very close nearby and thankfully there was no contamination."
A banking advisor has been jailed after he abused his position of trust to steal £79,000 from the accounts of vulnerable customers. Craig Miller, aged 39, was jailed for 2 years and 4 months after a court heard he took large sums from 3 victims. Leeds Crown Court heard Miller worked for Santander at their branch on Commercial Street in Leeds city centre. The offences began after he persuaded the teenager to open an account in her own name, but then gave him the card to access the account. Michael Smith, prosecuting, said Miller tricked her by claiming he was having problems with his partner and wanted to keep his money separate from her. Miller, of Providence Street, Dewsbury, was arrested after the offences came to light in November last year. He admitted his deception and was clear with police about what he had done. He pleaded guilty to 3 offences of fraud.
A nursery in Dewsbury was in darkness after lightning struck a power cable. Staff evacuated Child's Play Nursery in Thornhill Road when the cable set alight at around 7:15 a.m. Tuesday the 22nd of July. Firefighters used dry powder extinguishers to tackle the fire. Crew Commander Steve Carruthers said, "The lightning hit the main supply in the building and cut it right through. When we got there, all the children were outside and the cable was on fire." Elsewhere, heavy rain led to flash flooding. Arriva Yorkshire warned that all its Huddersfield to Leeds services were being badly delayed due to flooding in Cooper Bridge area near Murfield.
Calls for free parking in Dewsbury could be answered at last as councillors strive to revitalise the town. Dewsbury's Regeneration Board has asked for a review of parking and ideas for a free parking scheme. And council officials have already earmarked 2 potential sites. Chamber of Trade President Trish Makepeace said, "Any free parking we can get is a godsend. It's what this town is crying out for." The proposals were revealed during Tuesday's meeting of Dewsbury Area Committee. Councillor Paul Kane, Chairman of the Regeneration Board, said, "When we talk to retailers, it's all about footfall and bringing people into town, even if it's only for a short period. It's about trying to regenerate more income for the town. It has been suggested that drivers could park for free in 2 parking bays at the top of Northgate for up to 30 minutes, with no return in an hour. Kirklees Council Principal Engineer Joe Walker said, "This is very much in draft form. It's to give people the opportunity to nip into some shops, just brief visits, and then they can be out on their way again." Mrs Makepeace said, "Half an hour may not be quite long enough, but let's be grateful for small mercies." She said she would have liked to see more spaces included, but hoped the scheme might be expanded if it proved successful.
Certificates, cake and buns were awarded to the most well-behaved pupils at Earls Heaton Technology College, Old Bank Road in Dewsbury last week. Head teacher Hayley Clacey held a tea party in their honour in the school's main hall. Just under 170 pupils were invited along with their parents. The impressive turnout meant that further sandwiches had to be made to cater for them. Mrs Clacey said, "The party was absolutely phenomenal. This is the first time we have hosted the event and we want to make sure pupils are praised when they do well. People often get the wrong impression of our students, so it's good to prove them wrong." Only pupils who achieved 0 negative behaviour log points this year were awarded with a non-uniform day and invited to the party.
2 town centre car parks have caused problems for traders and businesses because of their new height restrictions. Lorries and vans making deliveries of stock for stalls were unable to access Dewsbury Railway and Cliff Street car parks. Dewsbury Chamber of Trade heard the barriers put up earlier this month came as a surprise to regular car park users. Gary Broadhead, officer for Kirklees Council, said, "Everything happened that quickly that we just had to go to get them in. We've apologised to everybody, including West Riding Pub." In recent months, travellers have taken over the 2 car parks, much to the frustration of the commuters, shoppers and businesses alike. The barriers are designed to prevent caravans being driven onto the sites. Unfortunately, this means some lorries and vans are also unable to gain entry to make necessary deliveries.
That was the news from Dewsbury TV this week. I'm Anna Seed.
And I'm Gail Hall.
Keith tries to land a Russian aircraft carrier. Wrong.
Land on it.
Yeah. How can you land an aircraft carrier? Keith can. Yeah. On Friday, we were invited to
Thornhill United's football presentation evening.
Start the evening. Before we give all the kids a prize, everyone in the club gets an award, a squad award. But there's one lady sat in the room that does a lot more than most. She's been here a few years. She kind of got dragged onto the committee originally just by her offering to use her postal address for the letters to come to. Since then, she's got more and more involved, and she's now running Thornhill United. So could we have a round of applause for Sharon, please? Sharon Lister. And a big thank you for all the years that you've put in, a bit of a little trophy.
Jamie, what's tonight all about then?
Tonight's about as appreciation for kids and the hard work they've done, to give them awards for what they've done, but not just for the kids, to show us appreciation for the other managers and as our club's run. Right. The chairman, which we haven't really said much about him, but how hard he does work, and the people who's left us and done a great job in the roles they've done. Mainly it's for kids, just to show that they're wanted and that we do need them. They've worked really hard and we're happy with them. and it's like a close of a season to start of a new season, so they come back and we start all over again, basically.
Right, I mean, they seem full of energy. How hard do these guys actually work?
They're bouncing. I wish I had that energy. They're absolutely bouncing tonight. They're happy they've achieved their awards. Some's got special awards for what they've achieved, and really bouncing tonight. I think they're all on Red Bull.
Yeah.
Woo, my Red Bull!
Cheers, guys.
I'd just like to say that all the players are really happy with the training every week, and that they all appreciate Craig and Jay's time. So they bought my little cake. So if Jason would like to take his gift. And Craig. Thanks very much. Also, we'd like to ask Lisa to come up. Lisa spends every single week in the show, not being able to watch us on play. So we'd just like to show her this appreciation. I'd like to say thank you very much for all the time you spend in the cafe.
What's it like playing for Thornhill?
It's sick!
It's bang time. Go on, youngin. How do you play them?
We're the champions!
Chappie, who's the best?
Me! It's on!
Thornhill!
It's a massive thing for our kids tonight. We've achieved lots, and it's grown, and all down to Indy.
Yep.
It's a big thing in this competition. Is huge. It's huge.
Really
and Simon. Simon's put his big thing. And obviously all us parents.
So you must be really proud then?
Yeah, we're very proud.
Really proud.
Because my son's only been there 6 months, and he's come on leaps and bounds.
Seems to be doing well.
It's massive, yeah. They all love it, they're all
Fantastic.
achieving, they're getting on really well. I think Simon needs to say a few words now.
Yeah, Simon, so you're new to the club then. So
Yeah.
Tell us your part in this.
Yeah, I
We're getting it by soon.
originally my stepson joined the club about February time, and he needed a club that we were going to fit in with, and we played Thornhill in what was supposed to be a league game, and because the team I managed at the time didn't have enough players, Indy were kind enough, for the kids' benefit, just to give them a game. And lent us a couple of players. We played a friendly match, and that day kind of made my mind up as to what I wanted to do with Jordan. And I spoke to Indy after the game and said, can they come and join? He told me all about the club, how there's no subs provided, and it's a completely self-sufficient club. So we went down. Jordan took him to training. His first session, he come back beaming ear to ear. He absolutely loved it. I hadn't seen him that happy for a long
Our kids
time.
have never looked back, and they don't know any of these kids, and we're not from around here.
So
they've never looked back, and these guys put everything into everything, and it's all funded by them. We pay nothing. It is a massive,
and that's what we found. That's what we found. We found that with
Indy. Money
Indy.
coming out of our pockets for any of it.
No.
They fundraise every little penny of this.
Everybody can do it. How much money you've got?
It's massive, yeah. And it's all different ages, it's all different walks of life, and it's such a good thing. It's brought us all together. We did a massive tournament not so long back, and that showed ability.
And they're all here for one thing, and that's just to play football and enjoy themselves.
And they love it.
And that's what kids need to do.
When he waves at us, everyone shout, "Thank you, Dewsbury TV." Are you ready?
On Tuesday, I was invited to the Dewsbury Arts Group summer exhibition at Dewsbury Town Hall. Last week I was invited to the Dewsbury Arts Group summer exhibition, which was held at Dewsbury Town Hall. I was overwhelmed with the artwork on display. One piece in particular caught my attention. I spoke to David Martin about this piece. So David, can you tell me what's happening here at the Town Hall today?
Well, this is the annual summer exhibition of the Arts Group. We do 2 exhibitions a year.
Right.
Spring one normally in the Cronest in Dewsbury.
Right.
And then the summer exhibition in the Town Hall here. Right. Yeah, it's just a view of the recent works of the art group members.
Right.
A very wide range: oil paintings, watercolours, drawings.
Right.
Anything you like.
What's your role in this event then?
My role is just as a general member. We have to obviously man the exhibition all the time, so we take it in turns to be down here.
Right. And what's your inspiration then? Why Dewsbury? I've noticed there's a lot of your work that is based around Dewsbury and Thornhill, etc.
Right. Well, I like to hopefully make people realise what beautiful buildings in particular we have in Dewsbury.
Right.
And one way of doing that this year, I thought we should do something along these lines, because I was looking at a picture by Canaletto and noticed that most of the buildings in it down one side were all warehouses, being a mercantile city. And the warehouses down Bradford Road in Dewsbury are actually Italianate facades. So all these down Bradford Road, these in Bond Street, the whole thing is built with Dewsbury buildings. The idea being that Venice is arguably the most beautiful city in the world, or one of the most beautiful. And this is a painting of Venice, not Dewsbury, but it's Venice populated with Dewsbury buildings.
Right.
And to me, it's just as odd. It's still beautiful, maybe not as beautiful, but still beautiful. Just hopefully to make people look at buildings in a new light.
Right. I mean, what's these buildings on this side then?
Well, these 2 in particular, the 2 pubs in Dewsbury, and I put them in because they've both got red pantel roofs,
right,
which is a little bit Venetian. That's the only reason they're there. So we go through, there's the Town Hall, there's the market, the St. Paulinus, Boothroyd building, the Minster.
Right, it's a fantastic piece. It caught my eye, I had to look twice, you know. I recognised the Town Hall at first and then I had to look again.
Well, I purposely didn't give it a title with Dewsbury in the name, in the hope that people would sort of look at it and then suddenly tweet.
Yeah.
I've seen that building before.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I had to look twice, you know, to digest it a little bit.
Yeah. But I don't want Dewsbury to look like Venice. I mean, I've been criticised for doing that. That's not the point of it at all.
No.
I like Dewsbury the way it is.
So Sean, there's been crowds of people gathering here all of today. I've been past a few times. You know, they all feel very strongly about what's proposed here. What's your feelings on it?
Well, my feelings are, since 2009 I've worked to try and get this building back into community use. I worked on the report with Fresh Horizons, even spending my own money, having a day off work, which is needed in my household, to work on the report. And when the report was done and they made the decision, yes, we can save it and we'll put £100,000 to it, I thought that would be it, and it would be finished by now. But obviously, over the last few years, I've been asking and asking and asking for a structural engineers report, and until today that we actually got the structural engineers report. And it's shocked me that it's come to a decision to demolish it, that we're starting to get the information which we should have been given years ago. Right. If we'd have been given the information years ago, we could have done something about it. It could have been probably finished now and been used by the community.
So Lee, what brings you down here to Walk Welfare today?
Well, what actually brings me down here is I'm really well and truly miffed about Kirk Lees on this one, because all of a sudden it's all just come out at blue, because people have started taking interest in it. Yeah. End of the day, we want to turn it into something. Obviously, scouting has taken a lot of interest in it, so it's a case of, right, we'll get scouting up here, because a lot of lads that go down Thornhill Lees for scouting actually come from Thornhill, so get them a little bit closer to home and whatnot. And not only that, it's just safer for them to walk on late at night. So, but not only that, it's this building. I don't know. It has a lot to do with me. It really does, because I went to nursery here when I was a kid, when I was a nipper. Absolutely fantastic. But there's so much that can be done with this building. It's absolutely unreal. The community stuff. Even just on a Sunday, just having a coffee morning or something like that. Yeah. You know, but for community meetings, trying to get some meetings in, trying to get some money into Thornhill, a bit of funding and things and stuff like that. I think it'd be absolutely great.
From my point of view, I've just been hitting brick walls every time. I've done it properly. I've gone to council meetings. I've asked the right questions in the right way, and still being passed from pillar to post and given no answers at all.
Right. You've also read the structural report. What's your views on that report?
Being in construction, some of the things in here are little bits of easy fixes which can be done for relatively next to nothing. Obviously some of the things need to be addressed by tradespersons, and I've been inundated with tradespeople in Thornhill that are willing to give their own free time to work on this. Now, it says in this report it costs between £175,000 to £250,000, but that's with a profit for a construction company on top of that. Now, if the community got together and did it up themselves, I believe, in my opinion, that the £100,000 which was allocated for this building could have been done for half that money, which would have left some money in the bank to run the building for at least 5 years.
Right.
It's Alan Mixon, which I live in Thornhill. What's brought me here today is for the full support of the welfare centre. Obviously it's a place that should stay. It's where everybody can meet. I prefer it if it was used for the elderly, and maybe somewhere, you know, they can spend a bit of time together. Right. It's just a recreation centre, which should be good for anybody.
Yeah. What about the historical part of the building?
Well, the historical part, it all comes under Thornhill, so obviously it needs saving. It's part of Thornhill and always has been. Right. Obviously, for some reason it's been donated by somebody at one time, so you know, should respect that.
Right, well, I've been down here a few times today, and I've seen you on more than one occasion, so it obviously means a lot to you. You know, how does it feel hearing about what's possibly could happen to this building?
I think it's awful, because I'm a local Thornhill lad. I've lived here all my life, and it's got history for me with my parents and my great-grandparents, and it's just been part of Thornhill, and it's just part of my life, and it's just, I think it's a disgrace what the council are doing now. Yeah. Without even consultating. We've got a new group going in Thornhill, and they just want to put blinkers over us. Yeah. It'd have been nice if they just could have had a meeting, because they're not a recognised group now. Why couldn't they just come and say, well, you know, we can discuss it and we can get back to the public.
Right.
I don't know, I think it's just awful what they're doing. We're trying to make a go out of it now, as if they just want to pull everything down in Thornhill. You know, it's just not right.
Right, I know obviously you did some work here as well, and they're just generally tidying up the place. You put a lot of work in.
Yeah, I've put quite a lot of work because I'm a local guard around here, and I'm well known around here. And it's just nice to make a start, and we thought we were going to get somewhere.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're going to pull it down.
And obviously, like you said, you had your grandparents. Your grandparents had the wedding anniversary.
The golden wedding here and that, yeah. And then I think my granddad or my dad's brothers came here to this school and family, so it's
part of your history as well.
Yeah.
And also it's part of Thornhill's heritage.
It is,
so it should really, do you think it should be left here, you know?
I think it should, because they're trying to pull everything down, aren't they? What's left down Thornhill, now Cross has gone, all that lot, I mean, it's a good building, and I don't think, looking at that statement they've put out, I don't think that's correct. I think we need another look into it.
I don't believe that the council should be knocking this down. They've produced some reasons for knocking it down, but I actually am very suspicious that actually the reasons that they're using to knock this building down aren't actually genuine.
I'm from Thornhill, born and bred in Thornhill.
Right.
I just feel that this building, I remember this building from younger being used as a community, jumble sales, tax sales. They used it for polling. The council used to use it, you know, and do the polling days here. And I just feel that, you know, it's something that needs to be saved. It's something that can be used for community, for the younger side of the community, not the ones that the older children, but the younger children's. Where I know there is other community areas in Thornhill, but they're all sort of linked with public bars or public where there's alcohol available.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere like this is what children want.
Right.
Maybe to hold a disco, or you know, something that we can give the children, and run in maybe early evening rather than a late night, where children aren't out, taking them off the streets, but then there's giving them something to do, especially in the winter months when there's the dark nights and there's nowhere for them to go really, and try and help them come together as a community, because they're our future for the community of Thornhill.
And I also believe that the council are doing this because they haven't got the community at heart. They brought a new act out in 2011 called the Localism Act, which gives communities the right to build for buildings such as this. And they're not giving them the time to do it. They're trying to flatten it before they've got time to get it nominated and listed as a building of community value, and they're also not giving them the time to prepare a bid or anything like that, and that to me is wrong. They should be given the time. It might hold things up 6 to 8 months, but the time should be given if other groups are interested to be able to do this.
I think people are now realising that, you know, we can't just stand by and let things like this happen, because then we'll end up with no history at all.
That's right, and Thornhill's a very historic place.
You know, it is, and if you go back, you know, even people who were born here but live abroad, you know, they've all got their input in. They all feel the same way. So it's not just because it's not just us who live here day to day. It's people from a wider spectrum who still feel passionate about the place, and it is an historic building at the, you know, historic village at the end of the day. Much more than a lot of other surrounding areas.
Yeah, well, us at Dewsbury TV, we have had comments from people, I can't mention their names, you know, from abroad, that would love to be here today, and they're really, really disappointed and stressed that.
And we're putting their views across through ourselves, you know.
Absolutely.
They always keep in touch, they always want to know what's going off, and it's great that they do.
I'm Gail Hall, and these are the events for this week. At Oakwell Hall, to celebrate Yorkshire Day, is item 1. Brass bands, flat caps and Yorkshire puddings will be in abundance when Yorkshire Day is celebrated at Oakwell Hall. The event will be held on Sunday, July the 28th at the Country Park off Nova Lane, Birstall. The day will celebrate all things Yorkshire, including the region's landscape, food, traditions and people. Activities will include donkey rides, longsword dances, archery and much more. The event will run from 11 AM to 4 PM and be opened by the Deputy Mayor of Kirklees, Councillor Ken Smith. Yorkshire Day marks the creation of the Yorkshire Riding Society, and the first Yorkshire Day was held in 1975. Admin costs £2 for adults, and accompanied children can visit for free. Entry wristbands and tickets can be bought on the day or prior to the event from the shop in Oakwell Hall. Item 2, Murfield Show. The award-winning Murfield Show is one of the best attended and respected family days out in West Yorkshire. Its roots are in the traditional Yorkshire agricultural shows, but it has embraced the whole family from parents to children, grandparents to the family pets, and showcases a wide variety of traditional and modern events, attracting families from all over Murfield, Dewsbury, Huddersfield, Kirklees, Calderdale and the rest of Yorkshire. And the event is on Sunday the 18th of August this year. And the next item is Yorkshire Day at the Batley Mill. The Batley Mill are celebrating Yorkshire Day and raising funds for Forget-Me-Not Children's Hospice on Thursday, August the 1st. There'll be cake stalls, biscuit decorating, raffles, games, treasure hunts and a teddy bear's picnic.
Plus the chance to listen to some reet good poetry courtesy at Yorkshire Dialect Society, by gum. For starting time, check out the website for more information at www.themillbatley.com.
On Saturday, Dewsbury TV were invited to Hetmond White's Crown of Lights Free Music Festival, and we had a really good time. Never once to miss out on a party, Dewsbury TV thought they would pop down to Hetmond White Crown of Lights Festival, so here we are.
Never miss out on a party. Not us.
No, got to do. Knees up.
Boogie.
Let's do it. 2, 1. Okay, so I had Angie paint my face and look what she did.
It looks great.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm quite suited.
Okay.
Okay, so hi.
Hi.
And thank you for having us at Crown of Lights.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, just check us out on crownoflights.org.uk. You can find us on Facebook. Again, Crown of Lights free music events. And you'll get opportunities to subscribe, to link up with us, join our group and everything, and be kept in touch with all the events that we do. We do monthly events, as I say, throughout the year.
Okay, so you're in a band called Rum Doodle.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing together?
For about a couple of years now.
Couple of years.
Got together through all of
But overall, you've been playing?
Yeah, we've playing in bands since we were teenagers. So.
Since you were teenagers?
We've known each other from about 20 odd years ago. When Martin played in like a rock band and I played in a rock band. Right. And then we sort of re-met about a few years ago and then formed this Rum Doodle acoustic thing.
Okay, cool. I like acoustic music. I love a guitar. I do. Do you have any advice for budding musicians at all?
Yes, keep at it because it's a never-ending journey to get there. So you just got to keep going. Despite all the criticism which is inevitably going to come your way.
And it's fantastic today to see young bands up there now performing.
I know, sixth formers at Hetmond White Grammar School. I'm really pleased with them. They're very good.
Can't be bad, can it?
Yeah, they're good.
Far too talented.
Far too talented for their own good, yeah. Do you have a website or any way that people can contact you?
Yep, it's through www.reverbnation.com/Rum Doodle or Facebook Rum Doodle.
Facebook Rum Doodle?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And do you have any other gigs lined up where people could come in?
Yeah, they're all posted on Facebook and the Reverb Nation Rum Doodle site.
So people who have missed today can come and see you next month.
We're always playing around Yorkshire somewhere.
We're playing there's a festival in Sheffield, in Bradford coming up in a few weeks' time called the Shuttle Festival. And we'll be playing at that on I think it's a Saturday, isn't it?
17th of August.
Yeah. And then there's a Grove Festival coming up on the 10th of August, I believe. We're on that. We're actually playing in the brewery this evening as well, but it's a bit short notice for that.
Do you have an album? An EP?
Yeah, you can download it on Amazon or iTunes. It's called Last Forever.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
too. That a girl, and I read the last rites. I spy from the night. That's the power of her shine. That a girl. Take a chance with little star. I'll tell again no sleep. Gonna wake up in the morning and have to face the day. That's what all my friends I tell like. Gonna do everything like you say. That's what all my friends I tell like.
That's it for this week.
You've been watching Dewsbury TV.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheesy.
He admitted this
On Friday, we were invited to Thornhill United. Sarah must have moved this on. Go on.
I've done it again, Anna.
Yeah.
Oh.
Strive. I'm going to sit there and go.
Strive, 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 strive. Okay.
Okay, we're ready. 1, 2, 3.
Do you know something? This is on its third time I've met you.
Go on.
Bad as earth.
Yeah, that works better. You look sweet from the seat of a bicycle made for two. There you are.
He does, obviously.
Wow!
Is that
Sticks
Russian
of dynamite standing on a wall, and if one stick of dynamite should accidentally fall, no sticks of dynamite, no.
Okay. I'm done.
Hi.
Sounds like a Blue Oyster Club commercial.
I'm saying the short of it. Oh no, no.
Oh, yeah, that helps.
I look better on that side. That's the good side. I love it.
You're in the short of it then? No, okay.
You literally got 3 words and then you're giving him the rest. Is that what you're doing?
Come on. Evening. Any round.
Come on, bit of flow, let's go.
On Friday, we were invited to Thornhill United presentation for football.
Ash,
Yeah.
you do this all the time. I clip everywhere. You're clicking these going